everybody, welcome back to my channel. Welcome back. How's everyone doing today? I'm just here to give you some more information and kind of share my carnivore journey with you. But I hope you're all doing well today. I just wondered, I was thinking, are any of you the black sheep of the family, the rebel? Put down in the comments below. Hey, this is a good time, if you're gonna put a comment in, to like and subscribe. Really appreciate it. Would really help the channel out and continue to help it grow. So if you'd subscribe, I'd surely be grateful. But anyway, I wanted to talk to you today about a little bit about, being the black sheep. I'm from a family of 10, and there was 10 children. We had 7 girls and 3 boys, all from the same mom and dad. I was born in the early 70s, and, I just felt like I didn't follow the same footsteps as the rest of my family. So maybe I was the black sheep, the rebel. But I didn't go to the, astound colleges, and had children very early in life, and just kind of the rebel, the black sheep, we have medical providers in the family. We have, prominent piano players. I just never was able to learn how to play the piano. I did have like piano lessons, violin lessons, all of that. I just never was coordinated. Or I wonder now, if I was to try and learn a new language or learn how to try and play the piano now, if I'd be able to do it with a carnivore brain instead of a carb brain. So man, the carnivore has done so much for me. I wouldn't doubt it. But anyway, a little bit about my journey, being a rebel. I feel like I went against the grain when I decided to do the carnivore diet. I've talked before about, how crazy it is to think about only eating meat. You literally have to change your brain, from making smoothies in the morning, change your brain from, holding back on the protein, and having really lean protein. You need fatty protein, you need the fats. But my brain has changed so much that I believe that, maybe I wouldn't have been a black sheep, but I felt like a little bit of the black sheep, doing the carnivore diet and kind of going against the, United States food pyramid. And I know, don't get me wrong, I know the food pyramid has changed and they've got more meats on that, at the top of the pyramid now, but they still have the seed oils, they didn't get rid of it. Did some research, they still have the carbs, just a little less. And you really need no carbs, people. You need no carbs to be able to maybe learn a language at 55 years old, okay? Or have a better relationship with the Lord and God. And so anyway, talking about being the rebel, just kind of going against the grain. It kind of feels like that, it kind of feels like that when you're going carnivore. But I can promise you from experience that it saved my life, got rid of all of my inflammation. I have lost a few more pounds. I'm almost down 80 pounds now total. Been doing this for 3 years, so almost 3 years in April. I feel that, my fatty liver is healed. I feel that my back pain, the inflammation in my back, maybe I still have, the issues, but there's no more pain with it. So I'm able to exercise. I'm able to do, chores around the house that I wasn't able to do before. I'm able to open jars. If I am opening a jar, or just opening anything, I can use tools and kitchen utensils, and my hands don't ache from arthritis. And it was just such a godsend. So, but we're so lucky. We are so lucky to be able to go to the store or, and buy meat, and buy the meat that we need to fuel our bodies and to heal our bodies. We're lucky that there's regular distributor companies and regular meat companies that are delivering to the store, so that I'm able to go and buy groceries and at my will. We'll get into that, meal prepping and shopping and making sure you're at a low expense. But those that aren't worried about money, I don't know if there's anyone out there, but if you're able to buy from the meat, packing companies that ship across the nation or that are local, if you can get a, half cow and store it in your freezer, wow, what a blessing, right? What a blessing. You know, is there any of the doomsday preppers out there? You know, my family, there's a lot of preppers in my family, and I have a fair amount, but I was thinking, you know, what happens? What happens if shit hits the fan? What happens to Carnivore? You know, am I gonna come back with all of the illnesses and sicknesses and die quickly because all I have is the rice? You know, a lot of the meal preppers, we have a ton of flour and sugar and rice and carbs and things that'll sustain us, right? Things that have shelf life. I was thinking, you know, I better start to prep like a carnivore. And we need meat. Is it the best canned meat? No, it's not. But I'll eat canned meat over rice. I'll eat, you know, we can prep canned seafood. There's canned salmon, there's sardines. Sardines are one of the best carnivore foods for us. Sardines have all of the nutrition, the fats, the protein, the omega-3s. I can't name it all, but a can of sardines is where it's at if we're prepping, right? So the way the country is going, right? Scary what's going on in our country. I try not to watch the mainstream media. But, you know, being a grandma, and you know, it's just important that we think ahead and just, you know, we're prepping, we're getting, you know, prepared for the worst. And I think that we need carnivore food in our closets to be able to have the energy each day to build fires and whatever we're doing during the tragic event, right? And if we had the canned meats, we'd really be able to withstand, right? We'd be able to withstand. So I just pray for everyone out there. I hope you all are, you know, considering the carnivore. You've gone and done some research. You're prepping. Maybe you're going to start. We've got a new month, February 1st, coming up. You know, you're going to do some research. You're going to tweak it your own way. But the first thing you're going to do is cut out all the sugar and the carbs and the highly processed foods. Okay? You're going to feel better. You're going to lose weight. I promise you, this isn't a fluke. You're not being a rebel. Okay? You are going to thrive. So don't forget, leave me a comment. I want to know where you all are watching from. I am recording this from the state of Colorado, and I just hope that you all have an amazing day and come back soon for some more. Thanks. Bye.